Good evening, everyone. My name is Kipolo, and welcome to From the Depths Tutorials. In this video, I will be showing you how to make cram cannons. I will not go into detail on how to make compact cram cannons or any kind of special cram cannon. This is just to give you the basics on how cram cannons work. So let's get started. Before we start, I want to mention why I decided to do this. There'll be timestamps in the video if you want to skip ahead. Um, but From the Depths is a very complex, but it's a very complex game, but it's also really it's really cool once you understand what you're doing. Ignore the explosions in the background. I'm gonna fix that later. Um, and the game's so complicated in the beginning. That one of my friends downloaded it and just minutes later refunded it because he didn't want to watch tutorial after tutorial to understand the game. So my goal is to keep these videos short, concise, and just let you know how to do things just right off the bat so you don't have to worry about learning everything, and that can come as you play. Um, so without further ado, let's begin. First of all, you want to head to build mode by pressing E and then head to the Cram Cannons tab, and here you'll find everything you need to make a cram cannon. You have the different pellets. These are just the ammunition, not the actual ammunition, but the types of shells that'll be loaded into the cannon itself. You have the packers, which pack the shells into the cannon. More of these, of course, will increase the fire rate. You have payload compactors, which increase the increase the capacity of the packers, which will add more shells into the turret, making it more powerful. So this increases the power, pretty much in short. This increases the fire rate. These are just what's loaded, the different type of power. Hardener pellets good against armor, EMP take out electrical stuff, frag pellets spreads out into a bunch of different fragments, HE high explosive. Next is the six-way connector. This is the wiring component of the turret. Anything will connect, any one of these objects will connect to a six-way connector. For example, a gauge increaser will not go onto a payload compactor, but it will connect to a six-way connector. So if you're ever having a hard time figuring out where to put something, just add some connectors and then place it on top of one of those. You have gauge increasers, which are kind of opposite to the packer in a way. What these do, they increase the damage and health, but they lower recoil. They increase the recoil, lower fire rate, and increase ammo consumption. So if you have a lot of gauge increasers, you're gonna want some payload compactors to go with them, or else you're gonna not have enough shells. But you're also gonna want a lot of turrets are all about balance. Each one of these parts has a positive and a negative aspect to it. You have too many of one, then let's say you have bad recoil, and you have too little of the other, then your fire rate's just bad. So it's all about creating some balance. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to create a relatively balanced turret that can fire maybe I'll aim for 8-second reload time and just like a decent amount of damage. So to start things off, you're actually going to want to head to the sub objects and then grab a one axis turret. You can do any size you want. I'm going to do 3 meters because it's right in the middle. So let's just plop one of these down right here. Bam. Plop right down. So next, I'm going to grab some, where is it? Oh, cram cannons. 6-way connectors. Like I said earlier, these are the wiring component of the turret. They connect everything else to other stuff. So I like to make the center of my turret just 6-way connectors. I'm not going to make this turret too tall. I'll do maybe a couple more. Let's say the ship. Yeah, I think that's about right. Maybe like there would be the height of the ship. And I'll have a couple up just so it's sticking out. And then once you have your center connectors all set up, you want to add a firing piece. So what a firing piece is, this is what fires the shell. It's the most important part for the cram cannon. Without this, cram cannon will not work at all. Also, it just came to my attention, I haven't mentioned what a cram cannon is. Cram cannon is just a relatively slow cannon, but it does a lot of damage. Whereas you have advanced cannons, which are usually a lot faster and do some less damage. But we're focusing on cram cannons today. So we have our tower of connectors, we have our firing piece, and let's add some barrels. I like to add a elevation barrel, improves accuracy. Pop that on there. I don't believe you can add more than one. You can? Well, that doesn't look right, so I'm just gonna do one. I'm gonna add some motor driven barrels. These say they improve accuracy, however, I added, oh yeah, they do. You can see my inaccuracy is going down, and if I add normal barrels, they also decrease inaccuracy. Let me just check something. Motor driven 0.53, barrel 0.49. Barrel actually seems better than motor driven for some reason. It says it has other modifiers. I'm not sure what those are, but I'll just add some on for now, because I like the look of them, to be honest. Yeah, that looks like a good length for the height of the turret. So these don't have to be, you can make this as long as you want. It's mostly for looks. Of course it will add more weight, so if this is turning, it might tilt your boat one way. But this is completely up to you, the length you want. You just want to make sure it's connected to the firing piece. I said things every piece could connect to the connector except for the barrels. These have to be attached to the firing piece. Now that we have our middle skeleton of connectors created, firing piece, and our barrel, it's time to move on to the payload packers, payload compactors, and the pellets themselves. So there are two different types of packers here. You have automatic and manual. I prefer manual. Um, Automatic is supposed to be easier, but I find it messes me up. So make sure you go in mirror mode. I always forget to go in mirror mode and then I have to do so much more work, but I just told you so. Don't forget. I am not sure if the orientation matters, although it clearly does. I placed it this way and it wasn't connected. So I would say place it like this to where you have these yellow squares. Well, let me just show you. Where you have these yellow squares on all three sides. Let me get off this turret. So as you can see, I have one yellow square, 1, 2, 3, just showing, and the last part is connected to the turret. I'm gonna add these up a bit. In a ship, all of this, and I forgot mirror mode again. Come on, okay, there we go. Okay, in a ship, all of this would be under the top section. Not sure what that's called in actual boat terms, but top section works for me. It looks like a lot. I'll just do 6. So of course these are essentially increasing the fire rate of the turret. Not sure if we'll see stats yet since I don't have any pellets. But as I add, let's say, some hardener pellets right here, we have a reload time of 128 seconds. Now that's kind of a lot, so I'm gonna add some more pellets to each of these packers, I mean. See what's our reload time now? 20 seconds. That's actually not half bad for a cram cannon. Of course, our kinetic damage is only 2500. The shell itself isn't super powerful, but our reload time is getting there. Not too bad on accuracy either. I'm gonna add some more pellets though. There we go. Man, look at that reload time. That is only 6.57 seconds. That's not bad. So essentially, a turret. This is done. This is a functional turret right here. Of course, I'm not done with it, but this is a cram cannon. Once you have your firing piece, a barrel, at least one packer, and at least one pellet, you have a turret. That's all you need to make a cram cannon. Everything else you do to it is just creating balance. Whether you want a faster turret, you're gonna add more packers. If you want it to do more damage, you're gonna want to add compactors um, over here, payload compactors, as well as gauge increasers, but that will decrease the fire rate. So from here on out, it's all um, just trying to create the balance you want for your turret. I'm gonna create something I think is pretty balanced. For a cram cannon turret, I'm gonna go with 8-second reload time. That's a random number I just picked for no reason. But let's just add some more stuff and see how it changes the numbers. I'm gonna add some compactors to increase the amount of shells that can be packed into each shot. I mean, they increase the amount of pellets that can be packed into each shot. Now that made our reload time a little bit higher than I wanted. However, our kinetic damage has gone up a lot. That didn't double, but it increased by a lot. Let's add some gauge increasers. Right now, our shell speed is only 200 meters per second, which is fast, but it can be a lot faster. Oh, I was wrong about that. That does not increase the shell speed. What increases shell speed? I'm not sure, but gauge increases will increase the damage. However, they will add recoil. So let's just add that. It also decreases the reload time a bit as well. We'll just add a good amount of that because that is a beefy turret right now. Now that's a lot of damage right there. Let me fire this thing real quick just to demonstrate. This is my my wall over here. As you can see, I had some tests earlier. Let's do this part of the wall. Looks like it hasn't been hit much. How did I miss? Let's try that again, shall we? Let's go aim right in the middle. That shouldn't miss. There we go. I hit something. Hit something down there. As you can see, oh, sorry. Let me just get into this mode. As you can see, this is heavy metal. This is a 5-layer wall of just metal, and I went through 4 layers. I don't think any ships have armor that thick, so this is a pretty powerful turret we've made here. The only problem is the reload time is 20 seconds, and that's just that's too much for me. So at the cost of increasing the size of the turret a bit, I'm gonna try and decrease this reload time because that's just too much for me. So, as I said earlier, the oh, forgot to do something. Okay, uh, let me do something real quick. Okay, all I did was raise. I took the bottom layer of um, compactors, packers, and pellets and moved them to up here, just so I had room for some connectors at the bottom. Since I cannot place packers directly onto these pellets and then just have them sit there, they have to be attached to a connector or the firing piece directly. So this is where things get a little bit tricky with cram cannons and where designs can vary a lot. I'm sure there's more efficient ones than what I'm about to show you right now. I'm just trying to show you the functional part of the turret. So as you can see now, we did a lot of damage. We went through 4 layers, but we can only fire 1 shell every 20 seconds, and that's just not good with me. I can't stand for that. But what we're gonna do is add some more packers. So I'm gonna grab some 6-way connectors. I might as well place them out here. And let's just let's go up here. So what I'm doing is just adding more connectors so I can place some packers onto them. Place it in the same orientation as before. There we go. That is, man, this is gonna be a nice turret. And then of course these packers by themselves won't decrease the reload time. You actually need to add some more pellets onto them. Let's add some HE pellets. You can mix and match shells for cram cannons, so might as well just for fun. Let's see what our reload time is now. 17.75 seconds. So that's still not very good. Let's just keep adding some more pellets. I'm aiming for, you know, I'll do 10 seconds. I think 8 seconds was pushing it a bit. I'm at now 14.19 seconds. 13.05. It looks like we're about to hit our limit here. It's just it's not working. Where else could I add more packers? That's okay. We lost a little bit of damage. However, the fire rate was almost cut in half. So let's give this cannon another shot just to see if we lost that much damage. Oh, whoa, that did not do nearly as much damage as before. What happened? Do one more fire. I hit the same spot. That's just not going through. You know what it is? Well, let me just check something real quick. I think it's my HE shells. I think those are messing me up. I did not know adding more shells could mess up a turret, but and we'll see. That might not be the problem. Okay, I took away all the HE shells. Please tell me this thing fires up. Come on. That looked good. That looked really good. Okay, 3 layer. Oh, okay, there we go. Yep, I got through 4 layers. Just one more layer of wall before I get to the end. So apparently, I do not recommend mixing HE shells into your armor piercing rounds because that damages the armor piercing a lot of your shell. So if you're going for pure armor piercing, do not mix and match HE shells. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much a cram cannon there. I guess the last thing you'd want to do is, if you want, you can increase the gauge more. Just extend these on. But the last thing you want to do is add an AI. So let's do that real quick. The good thing about having connectors in this bottom layer is you can just plop an AI in here. Try that. I'm gonna lose a compactor here just so I can make room for the AI. So what you're gonna do is just place down a local weapon controller. Bam. That's that right? Okay, perfect. Wireless receiver right on top, and I like to put a failsafe just so I don't shoot my own ship. So this turret is currently hooked up to the AI, and we just need to add some detection systems. If you go to the AI spot, go to the top right, there's detection components. I didn't know this existed for such a long time, so I'm just gonna add some quick detection. I'm gonna add, oh, I need connectors first. Get some connectors on here. Wireless receiver. Camera. And gimbal. Perfect. That should do it. I'm currently loading in a destroyer. This is a ship I made on my own campaign that I'm currently doing. And let's just test out this turret against an actual ship. So this ship itself, it's got one layer of light metal followed by another layer of armored metal. What's it called actually? I don't want to keep messing that up. It is... Oh, it's just normal metal. Okay, so lightweight metal followed by normal metal behind it. So let's just give this a try, I guess. Turn on the cannon. And you... Oh, okay, you didn't miss. You hit that. So this is actually lead. That's pretty good. Um... Oh my god, your accuracy. What is your accuracy? 0.35. I guess that's not good. Oh, look at that. Good chunk there. Let me just edit this a little bit. Um, let's try this out again. It's some decent damage though. Let me test it on something a little bit bigger though. Something a little bit more health. Okay, so I spawned in a ship that's a little bit bigger than our last one. This is my battleship from the campaign. I'm actually very proud of this. It uses cram cannons. As you can see, these are some bigger cram cannons than the one I made here. It's got a double barrel one, as well as two single barrels. Single barrel on the end, and then dual barrels in the middle. Let's give our new creation a little try over here. Turn you on. So that went straight through the hole and broke one of our missiles right here. That armor. Jeez, okay, it's aiming a little high. I think that has to do with the AI. Let me just edit that real quick. Yeah, I hope you guys got the gist of the cram cannon from this. I didn't go into detail about the detection system or the AI. I just wanted to focus on the actual cannon itself. If you guys want to know more about that stuff, I can make another tutorial. But I don't know. You can change the pellets to anything you want. I prefer this for the armor piercing. It's gonna be great against the Deepwater Guard, Onyx Watch. Yeah, I mean, I to be honest, cram cannons themselves aren't that great of weapons. Later in the game, you're gonna be facing off against more advanced cannons and um, rail guns and stuff. But for the beginning, something like this is perfect. Let me spawn in a bigger cram cannon, just so you can see like what kind of stuff you guys can build. Okay, this is another cram cannon I made. I armored it up, have detection. It's all protected. Of course, you can do that too. All you can just connect blocks directly onto this. But this is a double barrel. It's got 10-second reload time and 17,000 damage, kinetic damage. The shell speed, I guess you can't really change the shell speed. About the same accuracy as the other one, but this one's let me show you how this one looks. Okay. So this single shell right here is from this turret, and then we have these two from the other turret. Let's just see the damage. So against the light metal, the HE shells do tons of damage. Once again, if you want to pierce through the armor, I do not recommend them. They uh, severely weaken the actual um, like piercing damage of the shell. But if you want a quick explosion like that, that's pretty cool. But for like, I definitely recommend the hardener pellets. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed. This is my first video. You can just ignore what's happening in the background. This is actually a voiceover. The actual ending was too loud, so I decided to record over it. Um, yeah, my first video, so any feedback, whether it's just negative or positive, I will take because, I'm very new to this whole YouTube thing. Um, but I would really like to make more videos, so if this does well, and please leave in the comments what you want me to make next. I can do other tutorials. I'm not an expert in this game, but I have about 100 hours now, so I should be able to cover most things. Remember, just look back in the video if you want to see which parts do what. I didn't cover all of them, but I got the most important ones, I think. And have a good rest of your day.